Hello, my name is Dr. Carrington Falk, and great to be here with you today. Today, I wanted to talk about something a little bit different. Just bear with me because I kind of have to bash it a little bit because it's something that didn't happen. It literally didn't happen. And it was a lot of media about it. I know I'm being mysterious about what this thing is, but a lot of media about it, but didn't really happen. So I want you to think about the metaverse. There was a lot of talk about it, the metaverse, and that everybody was going to be digital and everybody was going to have an avatar and another life in a digital world, and we were going to buy things in the metaverse. We were going to have other homes in the metaverse, other assets in the metaverse. We were going to be able to literally live another life in this metaverse. And kind of reminds me of the game Sim City from years ago. That day may come. Actually, I believe it will come, but it just didn't come now. You know, sometimes you can think of things that are ahead of their time. When you look at people that are looking to be in the metaverse, it's something that has to take a behavioral change. You know, people have to want to put those VR goggles on, or if some other technology is created, they're going to have to want to immerse themselves. There's implications in education when you're thinking about the metaverse, because I want us to think today about, and just ask the question, how could the metaverse be a great thing for education? How could it work for education? How could students who may or may not want to come in a physical building, you know, for different reasons, could be safety, could be anxiety, could be that maybe some of them they're lazy, they don't want to come in, but how could them being in their room at home in a VR, AR, immersive experience, how could that help connect with other students who could be all across the country or the world? How could that help, let's say instead of playing physical sports, they played online digital sports, and what we call esports became sports within the metaverse? And what if you could, of course, have hundreds, thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of schools, and have students come from all over. And what you would have is you would have niche learning experiences. If you think about it, it's going in the direction that I believe that we're going as a society. And I also believe that, of course, we're going as a workforce, that you need to have specific niche knowledge. And not only that, it's not only about having the knowledge. And so let's take a step back. In education, you need to be learning how to be this niche thing. You need to be working towards differentiating yourself. Not every domain may be in the metaverse, but I think education has a place in the metaverse. It's a place where I think about it, and I think a lot of course, online teachers think this is, well, you know, I live in, let's say, Chicago, and if somebody wants to take my class that lives in California, well, why can't they? Well, why couldn't they take my class? Why couldn't they take my course? But then you start to see certain things holding it back. You know, certain policies of things that fund these classes prevent it from being taught across state lines. The other thing about any widespread adoption that could take a little bit of a hit is just the access to the metaverse. And, you know, we think about people in all parts of the world that still haven't gotten access to the internet. And we're talking about going to a metaverse. You know, they're like, man, I still haven't gotten in the first club. And then maybe I could talk about the penthouse, the metaverse. The other thing about the metaverse is, what about human interaction? I remember after the pandemic, I saw students come back and they had been starving for social interaction. They had been in their homes on computers for the entire school year, the year prior. Maturity was low. It was literally at a level that you would believe that everyone was a year behind in terms of maturity, and have no social interaction. That sounds like a epidemic. You know, a lot of people are talking about people being lonely. So something like a metaverse could perpetuate that, if you think about it. But also, we could get the technology to a point that it could be so immersive that you feel like you've been social. And maybe you can find ways to where communities could get together and have these experiences. Just think about how AI could help that whole process and help the teachers and educators that will be in the metaverse. If you think about it, that could be a way that we continue education. We continue to teach because we teach through these experiences online, and we can be really interactive with students. We also want to talk about some ethical things in terms of AI and just being in the metaverse. Of course, there's going to be new challenges that pop up. Just think about AI in terms of how people could view it as a really good thing. They're thinking it's going to be the thing that's going to get us to solve how to cure all these diseases. Think about curing cancer, or curing AIDS, or curing COVID. And just think about being able to cure all these diseases, and not only cure them, but understand them. And understand why our human bodies are taken to a lot of these, not only diseases, but what's helping to heal it. What's helping to heal our bodies. Also, in the metaverse, think about on the teacher side, right? The collaboration. And when we're talking about learning management systems, we could have a learning management world, a digital world. We can bring in experiences. We could take students to experiences in the metaverse. We could have hands-on learning. We could also have an account of our learning together. You know, a lot of times we may not have recorded this or recorded that, but we can record the whole experience in this world. And not only can we be in a world to learn, but we can build worlds. Just think about being with students and having creative projects that don't just stay on the paper and on the page. We bring it to an immersive world to where not only we can experience this world, but students after us can experience it. This is what's going to push that forward as we look at these digital schools in the metaverse. So, in conclusion, just talking about the metaverse, I'm really positive about it. I told you it's one of those ideas that, you know, seems like it went to go die, but it's to me, it's another thing that we can have in our digital playbook in education. We can bring us together through these experiences. And I think about how, you know, most technologies, it takes some time for it to come to pass and for people to really take a hold of it. I believe that the metaverse is one of those technologies that educators in particular can really grasp onto and take to the next level. Because if you think about it, education is one of those industries that touches everyone. The teachers that are teaching today are teaching the next whatever. Anybody that's, let's say, not in education, you were still taught by an educator. I bet you can ask a bunch of educators and some of them will believe that their job will be automated away. Well, to me, this is a lifeline. I'm gonna say it again. This is a time that we could just shift and we could be in a space, create a space for ourselves to where we can continue to teach. And not only that, we can still have human experiences in these spaces. And speaking of a digital experience, I have something for you. I literally have something that you could download today. It's the Thought Innovation Checklist, 10 questions for creative educational leaders. And I'm telling you, you want to start with questions because questions are going to lead you to innovation. And you know, we're talking about thought innovation, but when you think about it, I don't like to hold back what that innovation is for all of us. We just talked about the metaverse. A thought can become a world. And so I'm really interested to see what kind of worlds you're going to help facilitate students to build, but educators that you're going to build yourself, right? And so we want to put students first. But as a creative educational leader, if you don't fill the bucket, how can you pour in? Thank you, and I appreciate you being here with me on the road to innovation.